Well, time now to ask the auto man, and a problem that became all too real for me in the last year: when your belt goes bad. We're joined once again by Brian Bowersock from West Escondido Auto. Brian, thanks for joining us. We're not talking about the awesome belt that Brian's displaying, because he's all about belt fashion. Yeah. We're talking about the belt fashion that Brian loves to talk about,
Absolutely.
which is belt maintenance. And this is something some people might not even know what it does in your car, but is really key to the function of your car.
Absolutely. Well, the belt, especially today, because most cars only have what's called one serpentine belt. We've gone away from what's called the V-groove belts we used to use. You'd have multiple belts, one for every function on the front of the car, as far as AC, alternator, water pump. We've gone to one single belt that operates everything, wraps around, keeps everything rolling. So if you break a belt, it can be critical as far as you lose charging system, the vehicle can overheat, you lose power steering, which you found out when you broke a belt.
Yeah, and this happened to me. I was driving, and then all of a sudden I just hear like a snap, and then it gets really hot. You see the car about to, and then all these buttons start going off. You have no ability to drive. I mean, it's scary.
It can be, and also obviously if you can't control the car, at higher speeds the car will steer okay without power steering, but when you slow down, trying to get off the road into a parking lot, it becomes very, very hard to do.
Okay, and so we're see on the screen right now, they should be inspected about every 3 months, because this is not something you can really tell at home, is it?
No, and it's something that needs to be looked at, and like we were looking at the Audi here, the belt's very hard to see. When it's being serviced by your service provider, they should be checking the belts. Belts on average will usually last about 5 years, you'll get out of them, but the conditions can affect the belt. Oil leaking on a belt, driving in extreme sandy conditions, pit and tear apart belts, things like that can shorten their life expectancy drastically.
And people that live in our high deserts,
Correct.
another issue, right?
Correct. High deserts, because of the temperatures, you know, the extremes they go from, belts are made out of a rubber material, so they do deteriorate over time.
Well, we're looking at belts right now. This is a good belt,
That's
right?
a brand new belt, yes.
Brand new belt, and let's talk about the difference between this and what we're looking over right here, which is just a mess.
Correct. Well, it's a brand new belt. You can see this belt's in really good condition.
Come up with us.
And the grooves aren't too deep inside. That's one of the things we look at. Not only cracks and glazing on the rear, but how far. We actually have a gauge that determines how far the depth is.
And the gauge will go in here and actually determine how much of a groove you've got there.
Correct.
Right?
And by that groove, the deeper it is, the more rubber that's worn off the belt determines the replacement of it.
Okay, and let's look at what went wrong here. And this just happened in the last couple of days.
We just had a
right?
car that came in with this, and you can't hear it, but as you bend this belt, it cracks. There's big pieces missing out of the belt, as you can see, and the rear of the belt has deteriorated and started to come apart. This belt is a new customer for us, first time in. If she would have been servicing a vehicle with somebody like us or somebody else that really pays attention to belts, they would have been recommended to be replaced a long time ago.
Excellent. So again, check them about every 3 months, replace them probably about every 5 years, but just a good thing to get looked at so that you don't end up stuck like me on the side of the road and freaking out. All right. Thank you very much, Brian. Great to see you.
Glad to be
West
here.
Escondido Auto. For more information on contacting Brian, you can go to san-diego6.com, click on Hot Topics. He's also got a special section on our website just for West Escondido Auto.